Have you ever wondered, which country is the most powerful in the world? Which country is called the biggest superpower? If this question feels difficult, think about these. Which country has the largest economy? Which country has a GDP of over $20 trillion? Which country has the most well-known companies? Which country's movies are famous worldwide?
When this ship docks, I'm getting off with you. God almighty.
Which country has won the most Nobel Prizes? Which country has won the most Olympic medals? And which country has the strongest military? The answer to all these questions is the same. America, America, and America again. But how did the USA become a superpower? What steps did they take to reach there? Let's find out in today's video. This chart shows world history over the last 2,000 years. It tells us how much each country contributed to global GDP. Before the 1800s, India and China were the biggest powers. Most of the world's trade and economy revolved around them. They stayed on top for almost 1,800 years. But after 1900, something changed. In the last 100 years, America's power started growing. Its share in global GDP increased rapidly. Let's go back in history to understand how this happened. In 1492, an Italian explorer named Columbus found some Caribbean islands near North America. After this, Europe learned about America. Soon, European colonization of America began. At that time, Native Americans lived there. They are also called Red Indians. Many different tribes lived across the land. Spain colonized South America. That's why Spanish is spoken in many countries there today. In the 1600s, Britain set up its first colony in America. France also started colonizing. The main colonial powers were Britain, France, and Spain. They all took over parts of North America. As time passed, Native American populations fell sharply. About 80 to 90% of them died. One big reason was the diseases brought by Europeans. Diseases like smallpox and influenza. Native Americans didn't have immunity to fight them. Many years later, on July 4, 1776, American revolutionaries declared independence from Britain, and a new country was born, the United States of America. Let's now jump to the year 1850. This is when America's rise really began. Back then, the British, French, and Spanish had colonies worldwide. Even India was under British rule. But the USA had become a democracy. So if any region had to choose between joining the USA or staying under European colonies, they often chose the USA. Why? Because they wanted freedom and democracy. States like Florida, Illinois, and Ohio joined the USA instead of staying with colonial powers. In 1836, Texas got independence from Mexico, but Mexico troubled them a lot. So Texas also decided to join the USA. More states joined one by one, and the country kept growing. By 1900, the USA had grown big, and a bigger country means a bigger economy. Now think about the two world wars. Where did they happen? In Europe, when the countries like France, Germany, and Britain were fighting with each other during war. The USA joined, but most battles were not on its land. So while others suffered damage, America made profits. They sold weapons to many countries, and their economy stayed strong. In fact, the USA earned money from the wars by selling weapons to European countries. Later, the IMF and the United Nations were created. America played a major role in both. After 1950, the USA and the Soviet Union became powerful enemies in the Cold War. They didn't fight directly, but used other countries to spread their ideas, capitalism or communism. The USA tried to stop communism by giving money, weapons, and support to its enemies. In the end, the USA and its capitalist system won, and the Soviet Union collapsed. Today, the USA has over 800 military bases spread across more than 70 countries. This military spending made America very powerful. Similarly, America encouraged innovation and talent. That's a big reason for its success. But what's the reality of normal American citizens? In 2020, only 65.8% of people owned homes. More than 30% don't own a house. The USA is one of the most unequal countries. The richest 1% hold 42.5% of all wealth. Healthcare is costly and not good enough. Obesity is a big problem. Many students can't afford college. Also, there are no strong gun laws. In 2020, over 600 mass shootings happened. More than 3,000 people died in just 1 year. If America had spent more on its people instead of the military, maybe being a superpower would have real meaning. Today, countries like Norway, Sweden, and Denmark are much better in terms of human development. They are not called superpowers, but they offer a better life to their citizens. So what's the lesson from this story? A country shouldn't just try to be a superpower. It should try to improve life for its people. That should be the real goal. If you liked it, leave a comment below and tell us what topics you'd like to learn about next. See you in the next video.